peace and blessings. Peace and many blessings. I'm your humble correspondent, YPG Betancourt, and this is the War Report. Gentlemen, we on the front lines. And what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight was how a woman is a woman is a woman is a woman. I'm reminiscing on Turkish Bae. Now, I was stationed in Germany. This is my first duty station. And I remember how everybody was saying, you know, how much of a good time I was gonna have, and I just really couldn't figure out why they were so excited about it. You know, me being naive, and you couldn't tell me anything at the time. I said, yeah, whatever, cool. So I get there, and man, it definitely lived up to the hype. It was wild. Germany in the 2000s was wild. You know, they took partying to an entirely different level. And if you were stationed there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm in Frankfurt one day, and I was just walking down the street, and I literally got hit by a thunderbolt. That's what it felt like. Because I seen this woman, man, tall, statuesque. She had this. I'm a sucker for tanned skin. She just had this long black hair, and this her skin, man. It was just she was a sight to behold. And like I said, I just stopped. You see what I'm saying? Because I never, to this day, I have never seen a woman that was such a sight as her. I'm talking about traffic stopper, wherever she goes. And this is the first time I saw her. I was just like, damn, that bitch is, you know, I'm thinking in my head like, damn, this bitch is bad, man. And, you know, like I said, I was just thinking about how bad she was. I kept talking about her for like a week. I just kept talking about her. Didn't see her for like a month. And then I saw her again in Kaiserslautern. There was a club called Black Sounds. And I was like, this should go right there. And I was thinking in my head like, man, I gotta go get this bitch. That's all I'm thinking, right? I was like, man, I gotta go get this bitch. And again, a woman is a woman is a woman is a woman. So even though she was from Turkey, and even though she was Muslim, and you know, the Turks are very proud people. Like the Turkish men, man, they some suckers. You see what I'm saying? As far as their women, they don't want you talking to their women at all. I ain't give a fuck about none of that. I was like, what you gonna do? You see what I'm saying? What did I look like? How can you take a dude from the streets getting carried by some suck-ass Turkish dude? I wasn't going for none of it. So we was at the club, man, and I did what I had to do. You know, I did what I had to do. I went up to her, I mashed. I was awkward as fuck, but I would not be denied. Between her broken English and my broken German and Turkish, I was able to get her number, and the rest was history. So the reason why I was so surprised, or not say surprised, is because I'm thinking that only the girls around my way I like that. I'm thinking that only American girls I like that. But me and her started hooking up, and I mean, this bitch is wild, man. She was wild. Now, I think it was something about me that allowed her to be herself. And that's another thing about the women that I'm going to be talking about, is because I never judged a woman. I never judged women, and they would tell me things that they didn't feel comfortable telling anybody else, and I would just look at them, and for whatever reason, you know, like I said, she was just into wild stuff, man. Fucking in parks, you know, going to orgies. I went to my first orgy with her. I went to my first little orgy with her, and like I said, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I didn't even know. The only turkey I knew was the joint you carved up on Thanksgiving. So when I met her and she told me she was from Turkey, and I'm looking at the history of her country and their culture, I'm just so surprised that this girl was the way she was. So in my mind, I'm thinking, maybe all females are like this behind closed doors. Maybe all females are like this behind closed doors. I learned some valuable lessons from Turkish Bae. I learned some very, very valuable lessons from Turkish Bae. Chief among them was that you always have to be dominant with a woman. You always have to be dominant. Now, like I said, she took me to an orgy or whatever the case may be. And we went there a few times, but I don't know what it was. Like the whole sexual underworld wasn't really my thing. That wasn't really my thing. And there was a dude that we both knew from the orgy, and then he just started coming around out of nowhere. You see what I'm saying? Like, we would be out and about, and he would just conveniently, it was just kind of weird. You see what I'm saying? So I said, okay, I think I know where this is going to go. So I started to pull back. And her and him, they hooked up. Never hated. I was never one to high side and high cap. I said, all right, cool. You see what I'm saying? That's the way it be sometimes. And I didn't talk to her for like two or 3 months. And when we got back together, when we linked back up, first and foremost, I should have never let her monkey branch me. Secondly, when we linked back up, she was crying, talking about how much of a good guy I was. Oh man, you know you're in trouble when a woman references you as a good guy. Good guys don't get the panties wet. Good guys don't get the coochie tingling. Trust me. So, I broke down. You see what I'm saying? That joint hurt. I ain't even going fake. You see what I'm saying? That joint hurt because I don't know, man. It was like the writing was on the wall, but I just didn't see it. And out of nowhere, like everything was good, and the next thing you know, we just fell off. And then she hooked up with old boy, and I'm sitting there thinking like, how the hell this happened? I said, all right, cool. And so we linked back up. I kind of broke down in front of her, and that's what put the final nail in the coffin. That's what put the nail in the coffin, was me showing weakness. Not only did I take her back, and that allowed her to disrespect me because she knew what she could get away with. So I went wrong with taking her back. But breaking down in front of her, breaking down in front of her, son, women don't like vulnerability. Women do not like vulnerability. They don't. If there's an issue that you have, keep it to yourself, fix it, and keep it pushing. Don't listen to what nobody say. But yeah, man. Like I said, Turkish Bae, man. She's married now, 3 kids. Living a good life. Living a good life, man. Got a husband making some major paper. I know that. And it's funny. It's funny that I'm cool. Like, me and her are cooler now than we were when we was fucking around. We are cool. Like, I can hit her up and chop game with her like it's nothing. Like I said, all women are like that. It don't matter where you go. It don't matter where you go. Like I said, she was from Turkey. From Turkey. She took me to my first orgy, man. All women are like that. Don't let nobody tell you different.